essential in our world. Digital literacy.
I like to think of it as, well, we're bombarded with information all the time, right?
Absolutely.
And not all of it's accurate.
Not at all. Not even close.
Yeah.
So we're going to equip you with the tools and the knowledge to really be a discerning, critical thinker online.
Exactly.
All right, so first things first, what do we even mean by digital literacy? I feel like everyone throws that term around, but what's the actual definition?
It's not just knowing how to use a computer.
Right, it's got to be more than that.
Or a smartphone. It's really the ability to find, evaluate, and use information in that digital world, in that landscape.
Okay, so it's not just about being able to code or build a website, but more like being able to navigate all this information effectively.
Right, exactly. Like critically thinking, being able to research and understand really how the online world works.
So why is digital literacy so important? Why should we even care?
Well, we're just saturated with information all the time, right?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
So to be able to sift through all that noise, figure out what's reliable, what's not, that's key to making good decisions in all areas of life.
And it's empowering too, right?
Yeah.
Knowing you can actually trust yourself to figure out what's what.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's the tough part, right? How do we actually know what to believe online? It feels like the Wild West out there sometimes.
Oh, yeah, totally. You can't just take everything at face value.
No.
So there are some, really good strategies to use.
Okay, lay them on us.
Like check the source.
Oh, yeah, everyone says that. Check the source, check the source. But how do you actually do that?
So, yeah, who's behind the information?
Okay.
Are they credible? What are their credentials? Have they been accurate in the past? What's the reputation of the website even?
Oh, and sometimes it's that's where Snopes comes in handy. Right?
Exactly. Fact check. Factcheck.org, Snopes. Those are good ones.
Yeah, those are my go-tos, especially when you get those crazy stories from family members on Facebook.
Oh, I know, right?
And you're like, oh, Aunt Sally, I love you, but
Right.
this is not true.
And think about it. Is that website known for pushing a particular agenda?
Oh, good point.
Or being accurate?
Yeah, bias. We got to watch out for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what about, okay, this is something I struggle with sometimes. What about when you can't find the source? What if it's anonymous or it's a random video that's going viral?
Right. Well, then you look for evidence.
Evidence.
Does the information line up with what you already know? Are there citations or links to, other reputable sources?
See, and that's the thing that gets me is sometimes even if a source seems legit, it can still be misleading.
Right.
I remember reading this article, I think it was about a new health study.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is everywhere. It must be true.
Yeah.
But then I did a little digging and it turns out this study was funded by this company that would totally benefit if the study's findings were positive.
Right. Yeah. You have to watch out for that conflict of interest.
It's wow, sneaky.
It really is. And we also have to be aware of our own biases.
Oh, tell me about it.
Confirmation bias, right?
Yeah, we love to believe things that already confirm what we think.
Right, and then we end up in these echo chambers online.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So how do we break free from those echo chambers?
I would say make an effort to seek out different perspectives.
Okay, so if I'm reading an opinion piece that I agree with.
Yes, find one that you don't agree with.
Okay, find the counter-argument.
Exactly. It'll give you a much more balanced view.
I've tried to start doing that. And it is so interesting.
Oh, it is.
It really opens your mind to oh, I didn't even think of that.
Right,
It's a good exercise.
And another thing to keep in mind is emotional language.
Oh, yeah, you won't believe what happened next.
Exactly. Using fear or anger or excitement to try to manipulate you.
So it's not just about facts. It's also about, recognizing how they're trying to make you feel.
Yeah. Cherry-picking data, twisting facts to fit a certain narrative.
Like those clickbait headlines. You won't believe what this celebrity looks like now.
Exactly.
Or this one weird trick will change your life forever.
Oh, yeah. Classic. So remember, digital literacy isn't just about being critical of the information out there.
Oh, okay.
It's also about being a responsible digital citizen yourself.
Oh, good point. So our digital footprint.
Exactly. How are you communicating online? What information are you sharing?
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
It is. And speaking of things we should be thinking about, privacy.
Ooh, big one.
Huge.
Yeah.
Understanding how your data is collected, how it's used, potentially shared.
Yeah, it's a lot. I feel like most people, they just click agree on those privacy policies without even reading them.
I know, right? But it's important, at least Familiarize yourself with the key points. You have rights to control your data, you know.
Oh, so we don't just have to, like, give up and let them track everything?
Not at all. There are tools and browser extensions that can help you with that.
So there are ways to take control. I like that.
Yeah.
And are there, like, good resources out there for learning more about all this? Like, where do we even start?
Oh, tons. There are organizations dedicated to digital rights and privacy, websites that break down all that complex legal jargon.
Yeah, because who understands that?
Right. Nobody. Even online courses you can take about managing your digital footprint.
So it's all about just, like, being informed.
Being informed and taking those proactive steps.
Wow, this has been a lot.
It has.
But it's been so helpful. I feel like I have such a better understanding of what digital literacy is and why it's so important.
It really is, especially today. And remember, things are constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah, constantly changing.
So digital literacy is an ongoing journey. Stay curious, get learning, and never stop questioning that information you come across.
It's not about being perfect. It's about just being engaged and always learning.
Exactly. And hey, maybe you'll even become the go-to person for debunking those viral myths in your family.
Oh, yeah. I can see it now. Like, family gatherings, I'll be the fact checker.
Here you go.
Thanks for this deep dive. It's been amazing. I feel like I'm ready to tackle the internet with way more confidence and be a more critical thinker.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you in our next deep dive.